targeting its government and banking system, likely the work of Russia, which has governments on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean worried that this situation could turn into World War III. For more, let's bring in Rebecca Koffler, a Russian back on. We appreciate it. What's happened over the last really 24 hours, you were with me yesterday morning on Wake, are speaking out against what Vladimir Putin is doing. Do you think that this might have been a massive overcalculation by Vladimir Putin?
I do not, Rob. Well, at least President Putin doesn't think so, because he's an authoritarian. He's a former KGB officer, brutal, ruthless, calculating, and he's a brilliant strategist. And actually, he does not care what his people think. The Russians have always believed that the state is superior to an individual, and they would simply suppress any kind of dissent, as he has previously done. Remember what he did with Navalny. He poisoned the guy. You know, the guy was in the hospital, almost died, and then he jailed him.
Right.
Rebecca, when Russia tried to sanction Crimea in 2014, there was talks of taking them out of the SWIFT bank. We've been talking about this international banking system. There's talks again. The EU has already taken out several of their banks from war. So if that happens again, will he take that posture, and what does that look like?
So, yes, Lindsay, it's absolutely possible. The Russians view cyber as a bloodless way of destabilizing societies. Cyber is an integral part of Putin's playbook, or what the Russian strategists call new generation warfare. And so they have developed the world's most formidable cyber arsenal that is superior in programming power, speed of attack, stealthiness. Their capabilities rival ours. So it is possible, but it depends. He's not going to unleash a cyber Pearl Harbor unless Russian intelligence services calculate that the United States and/or NATO are about to intervene on Ukraine's behalf. And then all bets are off.
Rebecca, you wrote the book. I can see it behind you there, Putin's Playbook, predicting almost exactly what is happening right now, well before it took place. So you've been spot on. I'm wondering what you think Vladimir Putin's next move is going to be. The attack on Ukraine, at least to this point, has been targeted largely. He's not just leveling cities, but he hasn't taken over any major metropolitan areas. Although there is fighting in Kyiv right now and other cities in Ukraine, he hasn't taken control of the capital or other cities just yet. Do you expect him to turn to that, to start just indiscriminately bombing major metropolitan areas in Ukraine?
So it depends, Rob. It seems like Putin expected his blitzkrieg to take a lot shorter time frame than it has been. He underestimated the Ukrainians' will to fight. Right. And so he is taking over certain military targets and defeating them in Kyiv, but he hasn't executed his ultimate strategy, which is decapitation of the Ukrainian government, not literally, but removing President Zelensky from power and installing a pro-Russian puppet. So the assessment is that if Putin perceives that he is not able to achieve his objective without actually destroying the city, then my concern is he will ratchet up the pressure as much as he doesn't want to destroy all those beautiful churches, and because he understands that would cause, the population to really, rise up,
right.
And his popularity ratio might be, ratings rather, might decline after that, because Russians are very big on symbolism, on historical monuments.
Well, Rebecca, appreciate your time here this evening and your expertise, as everyone is wondering how long this is going to last if Putin can be stopped.
Yeah, Rebecca Koffler, thanks so much. Great to see you again. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Lindsay.